Hi, this is Vinney Chopra. Thank you for again joining on my podcast, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. As you know, I wrote that book, which is a top seller in Amazon. Internationally also got a lot of acclaim, reviews and all. And this podcast is about syndication, about commercial investing. I like to bring great guests for you and dig into their story, their successes, and find out some nuggets from them so that you could really enjoy them and learn from them and then implement them. Hi guys, this is Vinney Chopra again. Boy, are you sick? No. I come to you so many times in a week. I do the live show on Fridays. I hope you're following up. And then I do the podcast and several postings in all the channels. Thank you so much. I'm Vinney Chopra, and I wrote the book, Apartment Syndication Made Easy, which became international top seller. This is the the series of the podcasts I do, and then the profitability book. I don't know if you all have read my book, this one. That is also international top seller. And my third one, Senior Living Investing, which I'm a senior myself. So that's the third book coming out. But you are not going to believe who do I have in the studio today hanging out. And actually, that's the epitome of writing books and everything in the world. Mr. Mark Victor Hansen and Crystal Dwyer Hansen are here with me. Welcome to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Vinney. We are so happy to be here with you today.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice. You've got a radiant smile and everyone likes looking at somebody smiling forward.
Thank you, Mark. I really do appreciate that. We're going to talk about lots of things. I mean, I've got so much on my mind. I've got so many notes. And my real name is Vinod. My parents gave me, I'm from India originally. Vinod means happiness. Aww. And I saw a video that you were given special award at the happiness conference. And then we're going to talk about that. I got married 42 years back, and we lived in Bowling Green, Ohio, and you were in Toledo, where you got the, degree, or you were given, I was just reading up. Well, let's just go.
Honorary doctorates, correct.
Yes, doctorate, that's
it's a
right.
Wonderful university. That it is classic. And all of the first thing, it was amazing for us to go to Stanford and get the happiest man alive that year. I mean, it had been given to Muhammad Ali, it had been given to Mother Teresa. It is an unknown award, but it is a giant award. And you really done your homework, because I've been given countless awards, but usually we just talk about Horatio Algier because it's helped 35,000 kids get scholarships to universities, technical schools, and now entrepreneurial endeavors.
Oh my gosh. So wonderful. Let me kind of also talk to the audience. And, I've got the bio on Mark and, Crystal, along with business partner Jack Canfield. Mr. Hansen is best known for creating what Time magazine called the publishing phenomenon of the decade. I would say for the century. And the Chicken Soup for the Soul books are one of the most successful publishing franchises in the world today, with more than 500 million. Hold on, guys. You know what 500 million means? That how many books have been sold internationally and been in 54 languages worldwide. Oh my gosh. And with over 100 licensed products. This is amazing. And the name Chicken Soup was chosen because of the use of chicken soup for the remedy for the sick. And you know what? I remember growing up and reading so many books and all that. And I know how much I learned and I saw and how soothing it was. Literally, soothing is the word, because so many stories they were woven in, all that. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for coming from India to here. Thank you for doing so much. Thanks for helping so many people syndicate, because syndication is one of the great ways to get rich. And what people don't get is I wrote 1 Minute Millionaire. Most people don't understand there's hundreds of ways, thousands, millions of ways to get rich. And there's one right, perfect, easy, acceptable way to everyone. And you teach one of the great avenues.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's so wonderful that, I'm so fortunate that the coaching and the mentoring program taught me 15 years back. And I didn't know anything about cash on cash or return on investment or IRR or nothing. And now I'm teaching.
Only in America.
Only in America. The land of the, opportunities. And I came into this country with $7. Actually, some of my followers know me. Many years back, I'm a mechanical engineer, did my MBA, but this show is about you. So in 2004, you also got introduced to the Sales and Marketing Executive International, and then the Hall of Fame, receiving the Ambassador of the Free Enterprise Award, and also recipient of the Visionary Philanthropy of the Youth Award, Covenant House of California, right there. And then in 2002, the University of Toledo, that's the one I was talking about. And actually, Ken lives nearby. He's in Marion. Yep. When I moved from Washington, D.C., from George Washington University, I went to Findlay, Ohio, out of anywhere. Small world, really small world. When we started to get to know each other, Ken Walsh and I, and we spent some time yesterday also with the high level. I signed up because I've got courses and other things that will be, spreading all across the globe. But thank you so much. Thank you for joining. I would like to kind of maybe get started and say, humble beginnings. I know you sold and all those things. So maybe you could give us a little bit flavor of how you grew up and how it was and what really instilled in you to write. That's something.
My parents came from Denmark, so they were quasi-illiterate, and not that they weren't smart, they were wise even, but ESL, English as a second language, which you understand very well. Speaking,
yes, sir.
I expect you, based on coming from Delhi, you understand both Hindi, Urdu, and Kannada, and a few other languages. But the fact is, there's no English. The point is, I started learning how to write because my English teacher, I fell in love with it, got under the energy orbit of Dr. Buckminster Fuller, one of the wisest teachers, thanks to Einstein. Blew that company out because I tried to be Bucky, and then all of a sudden I get with Jack Canfield. I'm making a long story very short. Mm-hmm. We do chicken soup, and as you said, we sold over 500 million books. And my goal.
Hi, you are listening to Syndication Made Easy podcast. We will be right back after this short break.
Hi, thank you so much. This is Vinney Chopra, and thank you for subscribing to my podcast and YouTube channel and Facebook pages and all the great things, and LinkedIn. Connect with me. I come live to you every Friday at 9:30 Pacific with Vinney and Bo Show. Please also look at that. And also the podcast, which is my Apartment Syndication Made Easy. The book I wrote a couple of years back became international top seller on Amazon International now. And then we like to bring great guests for you every week or twice a week sometime to give you a lot of great knowledge. So please subscribe. You give us 5-star reviews on the iTunes. The better the guests we can bring, and our ranking will go higher also. Thanks again for following us and really getting the most out of it. Please comment, like, share, because we would love to bring better and better material for you.
My goal, the reason we got turned down by 144 publishers, probably my fault as I look at it now. I wrote down on my wow of a business plan, I'm going to sell 1 billion books. And if you'd come to me and said, you're going to sell 1 billion books, Vinney, I don't care how smart you are. I go, get out of here. You ain't that smart. I don't care that you're from India and an intellectual, not even interesting, and I think that's why they turned us down. And then my wife has an extraordinary beginning story too, which I'll let her tell.
I would love to. Yeah, Crystal, please.
Well, yeah, I'm a transformational life coach, board certified hypnotherapist. So I've just had incredible results, bringing my clients from, impossible states of depression, anxiety, losing everything, to finding a new version of themselves. And I was writing a book, my first book, when Mark and I met, and I actually met him at an Author 101 conference, and which my mom sent me to. I didn't want to go, and met him at the VIP room, and we just hit it off and started a conversation that's never stopped. And so we just feel very blessed because we feel like we just share a similar love for humanity, for sharing stories and getting our own stories out there and helping other people get their stories out there. Because as you know, Vinney, the world has changed through stories, and we each have so much to share, to learn, to give. And that's what we do. And so Mark and I just wrote, I think you've seen our co-authored book.
Yes, we're going to discuss that book. It just is so enticing, and everybody's got destiny.
Yes.
We all were sent here for a special purpose.
Absolutely.
And it's our duty, I think, that we find that purpose, because everybody's going to go away. I just say that in my podcast, even if we live to 100 or 200 years, which is all this technology and everything, but we are just a dot, not even a dot in dinosaur line. We are not even there. I mean, so ego and other things and all those things and stresses, why do we worry about things, right? So, no, we'll dig into that. No, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
How did you start then? When did you really came up with the idea? Let's go on that one since we are on it, And you did talk about, asking yourself first, finding out, asking others, and then asking God.
Yes. So we started out, we looked at our own lives first and said, because we love to help people. And we see that when people get stuck, why do they get stuck? Why can we not move forward? And we realized the one common thread in our lives was not that we didn't get stuck, not that we didn't have bad experiences like everybody else, not that we just weren't at the, falling into a hole sometimes, but we many times, but we each, individually and together discovered that the only way out of that was to ask the right questions, ask the right questions of yourself, ask the right questions of others, and ask the right questions of God. And so when we look back at our lives, we saw that exact track, that timeline of how that all happened, how those pivotal questions changed everything. And then we started looking at the rest of the world. We have so many friends and influential people, and then people who haven't made it so well, and the differentiator seemed to be their ability to ask questions at the right place and time. Those people who are able to formulate the right question at the right place at the right time are those people who tend to transcend their difficulties, to create monumental success, to overcome all of their obstacles, and to keep reinventing themselves. And we got so excited about this idea of sharing it because we said, the world isn't talking about this enough. And then as we got into spiritual literature and everything, it's talked about so often about asking, ask and it will be revealed, seek and you'll find, knock and the door will be opened. I mean, we need to keep asking. And so it's just like you said, the three channels we discovered through which we need to ask are ask yourself, ask others, and ask God. And each of those channels is equally important.
So true. So very true. And the thing is, I'm just seeing the parallel in sales and marketing and communication, where we are asking and then we are shutting up and let other people tell us, and give it to us. And then we are able to internalize it. And then we are able to really find the solution, which is for us, because nobody can change anybody in this world.
That's right. It's interesting, though, that I don't know why we're in this spiritual energy of the last couple of podcasts we did, but the podcast, because you're an old soul, I can just tell you that by knowing you. And I lived in India for a long time, as you know, as a student ambassador.
Yes.
They sent me to India. And I love India. But the point you hit in the Christian model and the Jewish model, the first person to ask. God asked Solomon, what do you want? And I never saw that until what you just said. And he said, I don't want money. I don't want riches. I want wisdom. And this morning it came to me in my intuition. Wisdom is the discernment of making wise choices out of infinite, because infinite's infinite. What you said about what we say is that we think you're born coded with a destiny. And most people muddle over that. I got a job. I'm a chemical engineer. Don't you know that? I'm not supposed to go syndicate. I'm not supposed to write books. I'm not supposed to train. I'm not. And by the way, I don't know your story other than reading it. And I watched 2 of your videos, but isn't that pretty much true? What we just experienced? Now, aren't you finding your wisdom?
Oh my gosh, totally. Mark, the thing is, many times we limit ourselves. We live the life of fearness.
Right.
And we're always saying, I can only do this if this was that. I can only do this if I had this. I can only do this if I were to do this or whatever. But I think it was Built to Last book or something, Collins' book, where I read, go ahead and take the or out, OR, but put it with and, A and D. I can do this and this and this and this and this. And we just transfer to a new person, totally. And let the abundance come in our life, because if we send the signals out, and more is going to come. So no, Destiny book, this Ask Question in the book is amazing. And I think so many of us miss that, which is really sad. Because we get sidetracked and we get into different things. And the whole life, people spend so much time and energy stressing about things they will never really happen.
Yeah, boy, that's true, Vinney. And what we realize, we see over and over again, is that most people take their cues from the life around them, the life they're already living. And they just keep replaying that feedback loop again and again and again. And we say the only way you can get out of that feedback loop is to start asking the questions, and it really starts with asking yourself. And we say there are 3 phases to that, asking yourself. And that first one is, where am I right now? Where am I? Do I like it? Am I enjoying myself? Am I even doing the right thing? Am I happy? Where am I now? And then the second phase is, where do I want to be? So few people go inside and ask these questions and allow themselves permission to explore the answers to those, right? Yeah. And Mark and I say, when you ask that question, where do I want to be really in my life? Ask it from the nth degree of your greatest imagination, because God gave you this beautiful imagination. Yes. And it's someone's imagination created every beautiful thing and amazing thing on this earth, whether it's the coolest invention or the most beautiful piece of art. You have that same imagination. So when you ask yourself, where do I want to be? Ask it from this place in your imagination where you're imagining yourself in your greatest career doing the most successful work you could be doing, the happiest work you could be doing, right? And ask the questions backward. Who am I working with from this perfect place of my career? What am I selling? What are my products? What are my services in this magnificent place? Who am I talking to, and how are they responding? And in that way, you start to sculpt this architecture for this perfect life. You reverse engineer it, and it's really quite remarkable.
I love it. The way you just explained. It's so simple terms. Amazing. So
he does it simply enough so I get it.
I think I taught him, Vinney.
No, this is so profound, because it's so true. Where we have come from and where we are going. And then again, I just say power of now, like Eckhart Tolle's book, right?
Yep.
Profound, that's what is so important. What I want to become one day, I'm in the process of becoming today. Actually, this was shared with my executive director, a very big person, Spencer Hayes, very, very God-fearing person. He passed away at 80, billionaire. Actually, he had his hand on my head for many, many years as I sold books, by the way. I sold Bible books and encyclopedias door to door.
You were with Thomas Nelson?
Yeah, I was not with Thomas Nelson, with Southwestern.
Yeah, Southwestern. I trained
Southwestern.
for a while. You knew More Dudley then.
Yeah, More Dudley.
Oh, More Dudley and I were like that. I mean, I love More Dudley. He was the most consummately elegant dressed man I knew at the time.
Totally. Oh, he would come to the sales school and come to the seminars. I sat with him many times because I spent a lot of time with their organization. When I came from India, somebody said, Vinney, what are you doing for summer? I said, I don't know. And I had thick accent. Nobody could really understand me. He said, I sold books door to door. I said, engineer selling books? Okay, let's do it. Rest is history. And that's what I did for 3 summers to earn my tuition, to go to school, George Washington University and all. But more totally, oh, what a speaker. And you were together, you said, yeah. Oh,
yeah, we did a lot of talks together. I love More. So let me just go back to the other thing, because we're saying you ask yourself, I'm going to ask everyone listening to learn how to sell, because look what it did for you. Look what it did for each of us. I mean, she was a number 1 realtor, the number 1 model. Now we're best-selling authors together. But it shows that you've got to sell no matter what you do. I don't care if you're a medical doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, or a janitor, or, if you sell, you can move forward, onward, upward, goodward, and Godward.
Okay. So true, so true. Everybody has to be a great salesperson or a communicator. As a matter of fact, my billionaire friend Spencer Hayes, his card said salesperson. He owned 9 companies and big thing and everything. His card said salesperson. You just reminded me.
That is really funny. Well, and back to asking, sales is all about asking. And we talk about this in the business section, because we have, in the Ask book, we have how to ask in personal relationships, how to ask for your health and wellness, and how to ask for business and career. And we have some interesting stories in there, but, asking in business, most people think, you just walk in there and you tell them how great you are and you got all this stuff. And that's usually not effective. The art of the sale is really learning the art of asking, because to create a bond between you and another human being, you have to be interested in that human being. And so we talk very specifically. We have a great story in there by Preston Weeks, who talks about being a big behemoth in business, because what they did is they went in there and instead of like, oh, we have this and this and this, and this is why we're so great, they went in and just started asking, what would it look like, Vinney, if I was able to, meet your goals this year? What do those look like? What if I helped you eliminate 3 of your most pressing problems? Yes. How would that feel? Would that be valuable to you? All of these things. As a salesperson, if we start with those questions, then we understand the needs of our clients. And then we understand how to fulfill those needs. And until we ask those correct questions in the correct way, we don't understand that. So this is it's not only one of the most important personal relationship books and spiritual relationship, it's one of the most important business relationship books. You have to learn the art of asking.
So true, so true. While you were talking, Crystal, I was thinking about Tom Hopkins, right? How to master the art of selling. And he talks about like asking trial questions. And that's what it is, because if we want to increase our sales and grow and everything by asking the customer, we become consultant.
Yep, exactly.
A consultant rather than a sales, putting down the throat without really finding what they need. So thank you. No, this is amazing.
Tom is one of our neighbors and friends, and we see him probably quarterly at parties.
You do? Oh my gosh.
Here in Scottsdale, Arizona with us. So
in Scottsdale, right? I know you are. By the way, this is perfect time to talk about. You're going to be presenting. And by the way, right there in Scottsdale coming up in June.
Right. Limitless. It's going to be with 50 major speakers, and we're each one of them.
Yeah.
And I just happen to send you my brochure rather than hers. But, everybody needs to come to meetings. I mean, I would not be successful if I hadn't sat in the energy orbit of great master teachers that have done what I wanted to do. And then, it's hard for me to believe I'm 74 years young, because I'm going to live the 127 options for renewal, like you were talking a second ago.
Yes.
You should live as long as you expect to live. It's in writing, I think, at some level. So the point is, we just keep asking ourselves, what is it you want? Where do you want to go? How much you want to do? And back to your trial close, just I sold for Dale Carnegie, and in the first week I went and I saw who's selling the best, and I said, "Let me just sit with you." And it was a woman named Patty Babbitt, and I sat with her, and all the ads came out on Sunday in the newspaper, and the people, the phone would ring off the hook, and I didn't see exactly what to do, but she only had one question: "Vinney, have you sold yourself on taking this course, or do you need more information? If you said you sold yourself, say good, send in a check for $367. If you haven't sold yourself, what do you need to know? Will I get more confidence? If you got more confidence, would you take the course? Good. Now write a check for $367. It was, and then I went right to becoming the best salesman because I was willing to take more calls. She was willing to work 6 hours a day, and I was willing to work 10. It's really easy to be the best if you just put in more effort.
I love it.
Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, the quantity of service plus the quality with a positive mental attitude, which you just as a radiant spirit, sir, gives you unlimited earning capacity, which you and I believe. And
it really does. It really does, Mark. And, I just learned it in my profession. I've been a speaker, motivational speaker at a smaller level, but syndication, like you brought up, has really changed our life, our family's life, everything. It's the power of raising money from family, friends, and neighbors and all. I've raised about 172 million.
Wow.
Million.
Congratulations.
Wow. In just last 6-7 years. And I can raise 8 to 10 million, just pretty quickly now because my investors have gotten so great returns and they're just looking for the next one and the next one and the next one.
When we're done after this call, I've got something for you to raise.
Oh my gosh, totally. We will talk. But let me take you back then to the other book that Mark, you and Robert Allen wrote, right?
Right.
Yeah, The Millionaire. Actually, I even have the book, and I would like to request everybody watching us and talking to, listening to us, please make sure that you go on Amazon and say Mark Victor Hansen and Crystal Dwyer Hansen, and the books will come. Go ahead and subscribe to these latest books, The Ask and the 1 Minute Millionaire, right? It's 1 minute, I think, millionaire. So
let me hit Tyke on just that.
Yeah.
And I think you'll agree with me. Everybody has to become a millionaire because the government's out of control, inflation's out of control, supply chain's out of control. And the way to do it is what we're talking about here. You need to be an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur, meaning you're inside an entrepreneur, inside a business where you're the entrepreneurial entrepreneur. But an entrepreneur finds a problem. Goodness gracious, there's never been more. There's 8 billion of them. I mean,
yes.
Find a problem, fix it, scale it, make a vast profit. That's what an entrepreneur does. And he or she employs a lot of people. What we taught in 1 Minute Millionaire,